today, what I thought was I asked you to do the uh, exercises of Incoterm. Have you done that?
Yes.
Right. Okay, fine. In that case, what we will do first, we'll finish this today's session, and if you get additional time, then we'll try to address at least 5, 6 exercises, right? Otherwise, if you get stuck with the exercises, then everything will get stuck, right? We are in a very tight program. Okay. Uh, Usage of bank guarantees in international trade. Now, in most cases, in most banks, international bank guarantees are also handled by international trade department, right? I know, Crystal, in Standard Chartered, that's a story, no? Yeah, in the trade department is handling bank guarantees, right? Avanti, what about your bank? Bank guarantees are handled by trade or uh, advances department?
So from the advances department sometimes.
Advances department. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also some banks, they do like that, right? But anyway, 90% of the time, the bank guarantees are handled by uh, international trade department because this is part and parcel of international trade, international bank guarantees, right? In today's globalized economy, right? I mean, whatever the business you are doing, it's hard to imagine any business around the world is without a bank guarantee because bank guarantees are so popular and this has become a very important instrument in international trade operation, right? It is estimated that aggregate value of guarantees in the range of hundreds of billions of US dollars. Just imagine, hundreds of billions of US dollars, right? Covering the obligations in all sectors of trade and industry, including construction, commercial lending, corporate restructuring, or structured finance. Everywhere, bank guarantees plays a major role, right? Uh, as you said, bank guarantees are not a new instrument. It's a little bit of an innovative instrument, but it is not an innovative instrument. It has been on the market for decades. Now, if you go back to the history of bank guarantees, uh, you can see a very large scale of usage in Middle East countries after they started uh, earning money from their oil boom. That was late 60s, 1960s, right? When Middle East countries, when they found oil and when they start drilling oil, the money was coming like hell into the countries, right? So they were, the rulers were having a lot of money. Now, with that, some rulers immediately wanted to develop their country. So they immediately, in a request and invite some other international community to come and do the construction and other development work, infrastructure development work for them, like building roads, building hospitals, building airports, building schools, everything, right? Electricity, water, everything. They had money, but they don't know how to do it. Then, what these guys did, Um, people like Germans, uh, uh, Norwegian guys, French guys, then British guys, Americans especially, right? They came, they came to those countries and they started doing the thing. After taking the money, they have vanished. The business were halfway through. Then only these people learned a lesson, and then they said, okay, in future, if you are doing this type of construction, you have to we have to have a bank guarantee from another reputed bank, right? This is how uh, this came into this traditional banking as a traditional banking product, right? Uh, Now these days, especially with this COVID pandemic and everything, right? This is in the time of it's a time of financial and economic crisis all over the world, right? This instrument is more successful than ever. Because everybody wants their business to be covered, or whatever their job covered, uh, supported by a bank guarantee, right? Uh, because the thing is, the global markets are very nervous and everybody aims at security. So when you are looking for security, this is a very good instrument, right? Okay. Uh, why we need bank guarantees? Now, for example, take major construction projects, right? Some of the major construction projects, they are very complex, right? And high risk. This complexity is an inherent thing in construction, right? Because when they are doing the construction, uh, they will come across very serious obstacles and complexity, right? Now, some of the risk in these construction projects, right? If you just discuss, one is risk of design errors. If the design is, if there's any anomalies in the design, then construction will go for a 6, right? Then there are physical errors, physical risk. Physical risk is the weather, floods, earthquakes, tsunamis can happen, right? Force majeure, acts of God, right? So we can't stop those things. So when we are constructing certain things, even if you are constructing a bridge over a river, because of floods, it can be washed off, right? So those risks are there. Then the labor risk, the strikes, work slowdowns, riots, all those things can happen. Human risk, countries like Sri Lanka, these third world countries, this is very, very common human risk. Corruption, vandalism, theft, uh, job site safety. Corruption and vandalism is very common in our countries, right? I don't have to explain to you, but you know that. Design and technology risk, materials, what are the materials if you are using substandard ones, the building can collapse. Can you remember about 2 3 years back, we had a similar incident, classic incident in Vellavatta area, 5-story building collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-story building collapse, right? So that was due to the bad materials they have used, right? Then supply and transport risk, material shortages, delivery delays, right? Regulatory and financial and political risk. we are having these days. The last but not the least, contractor insolvency and default. Right? All these things can happen. So, due to one of these reasons, the project can be delayed, or you won't be able to hand over the project to the beneficiary within the time period. So, therefore, bank guarantees are very, very important to safeguard the losses. Use of guarantees in different business sectors. Construction sector, we need guarantees. Pharmaceutical section, when we are importing pharmaceuticals and all, when we are dealing with pharmaceuticals, always they ask for bank guarantees. And do you know the local pharmacy, which normally you are going to get your medicine, the local pharmacy in your area, right? For those people, the pharmaceutical companies, the agents, will give their uh, time to time they come and they uh, deliver the medicine to those pharmacies by those companies. But they are not asking for the money immediately, because they have to sell the stuff, because medicines are very expensive, the bills are big amounts. So what they do is they give the medicines to the pharmacies based on bank guarantee. They have given a bank guarantee of 1 million or 500,000. So based on the bank guarantee amount, they will give the medicine. So once you sell the stuff, you have to settle the money, right? So pharmaceuticals also, there's a heavy use of bank guarantees. Telecommunication, that's another industry, right? Power projects, when you're when you're setting up uh, power plants, always is covered with bank guarantees. Financial sector, when you give loans or overdraft facility to a company, sister company, based on the parent company's guarantee. Parents company's corporate guarantee we give. So that's also a guarantee, right? Government infrastructure, when you're constructing uh, highways, Southern Highway was finished. Now we are doing the Central Highway, right? And the bridges and all. Always the contractors have to submit a bank guarantee. Because by submitting the bank guarantee, they promise to deliver the goods within the agreed period, right? Extraction and mining and guarantees usage globally is increasing drastically. Definition of a guarantee, if you take definition of a guarantee, a demand guarantee or guarantee means, normally guarantees are demand guarantees, or simply guarantee means any signed undertaking, however named or described, providing for payment on presentation of a compliant demand, right? Demand means a signed document by the beneficiary demanding payment under a guarantee. Now, demand guarantee or a guarantee means any signed undertaking, however named or described, providing for payment on presentation of a compliant demand, right? That is that. The demand means when you are demanding the money on a against a bank guarantee, again you have to submit a written demand. You can't just call and ask for money. It has to be in writing, right? Okay. Parties to a guarantee, like LCs, collection. Now we have parties to a guarantee also. Here also we have applicant. We have applicant. Now, when the customer comes to the bank asking for a guarantee, first they have to give us an application, guarantee application, right? Normally, this applicant is either the supplier or a seller or a contractor or a debtor, right? A supplier means if he's if he has an agreement with the government organization with CWE to supply Mysore dal for them. Mysore dal to CWE. So this guy is a supplier. This Mudalali guy is a supplier. Mudalali kode kade inna Mudalali enemy. The big guys, right? Who are bidding for the tenders. So they are the suppliers. And same thing comes under seller, right? Or the contractor. Now the contractor has signed an agreement with the beneficiary to complete a construction. Now the beneficiary will ask the contractor, okay, we need a bank guarantee from a reputed bank. Now he has to go to his bank and apply for a bank guarantee. So contractor will become the applicant. Debtor of a loan, right? Beneficiary. Who is the beneficiary? Beneficiary is either the buyer or the employer or the creditor. If it is a loan, is a creditor. The bank, maybe bank, right? Guarantor. Guarantor is the issuing bank. Guarantor is the issuing bank. Counter guarantor. Sometimes you will have a counter guarantor, right? You will issue the guarantee, but it is counter guaranteed by some other party. That is counter guarantor, right? තව ඉස්සරහට පොඩි පොඩි කැලේ එනකොට ඔයගන්ට මේක තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Applicant. The applicant is a person or the entity which makes a request to issue a guarantee, which is based on their contractual obligations. This I have explained to you. Guarantor. Guarantor is the bank which is called upon to issue the guarantee at the request of the applicant to the beneficiary. At the request of the applicant to the beneficiary. The guarantor is under the primary obligation to make the payment to the beneficiary. On first demand, in the event of a default or a default of the obligations or non-fulfillment of the contractual obligations. Now here, the guarantor is the bank. The bank has given an undertaking to the beneficiary. So they have the primary obligations to make the payment. So once the bank receives the payment demand in writing, for the first demand, we'll have to pay. Right? Beneficiary. The beneficiary is the entity or person in whose favor the guarantee is required to be issued. Right? Now, for example, if a new power plant is we are constructing a new power plant. So that construction work has been given to one of the Chinese companies. So the Chinese company, uh, now they have got the tender. Now they are going to start the work. But if it is a power plant, what is your guess? Who should be the beneficiary?
Government.
Government. Which department? Power plant? Oh, for example, that's Norachola power plant. Who is the beneficiary? They are they are doing it. That also a Chinese company. They have done it and hand over it to the beneficiary. Who is the beneficiary there? Ceylon Electricity Board, CEB. CEB is the beneficiary, right? So like that, all these transactions, there is a beneficiary. Another one important thing under guarantee is independence. Independence feature. The basic feature of the modern guarantee is its independence from the underlying relationship. From the underlying relationship. This is just like the LCs. Between the buyer and the seller, you have a relationship. Fine. But the LC is issued at the request of the applicant, buyer. Right? Whatever the relationship you are having with the buyer, maybe you are thick pan, forget about it. The bank is independent from the underlying relationship. Right? This means that the payment obligations of the guarantor is solely determined by reference to the conditions of payment as specified in the guarantee, and regardless of any defenses under the underlying relationship. Any defenses under the underlying relationship. That means when we are going to pay the demand, that guy will tell you, Majang, please don't do it. Just give me 2-3 days, I will sort it out. Yes, there was a problem. I understand and I admit that, but don't pay this. You give me 2-3 days, I will sort it out. Um, and and with that, he is inviting the bank manager. Uh, shall you go for a glass of beer in the evening? What am I with me? Right? No. That means you're having a very good relationship with the applicant. Forget about that. If there's a demand, you have to honor. Right? It is independent, irrespective of the underlying relationship. Right? Okay. Guarantee on first demand. Guarantee on first demand. Guarantee on first demand are widely used in international trade and local trade. Guarantee on first demand तो मैं गुड़ा use करना. Right? The beneficiary will demand, guarantor will pay. They are payable on first demand, and the bank cannot and have no right whatsoever to refuse the postponement of the payment. Right? The bank is obliged to pay the beneficiary on first demand after having examined the provisions of the guarantee, its validity, etc. On first demand, you have to pay. Right? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? We have time. If you have any queries, ask me. Right? Okay. Now we'll see what are the types of guarantees in international trade. Types of guarantees. It can be international trade, it can be domestic trade, whatever. Types of guarantees. Under types of guarantees, it can be a direct guarantee or an indirect guarantee. Can be a direct guarantee or indirect guarantee. Let's see what is direct guarantee. Right? Actually, we are handicapped without the board and all. Right? Then board use කරන්නවත් I am reluctant to go to IBSL. That area is full of COVID. Right? So that is why we are doing this session from home. But we have this obstacle of not using the, we don't have the facility to use a whiteboard. Right? Let's see direct guarantee. What is direct guarantee? We have the applicant. Right? And then they have contract between the applicant and the beneficiary. Applicant and the beneficiary. Right? Can you give some examples for applicant? What sort of person he can be?
A supplier,
Supplier, very good. Very good. In a construction field,
Contractor.
Contractor.
Contractor. Okay. Then beneficiary, he is the guy who is getting benefited from the contract, right? This applicant is doing beneficiary's job, right? Then the applicant, now as per the contract, they are asking, beneficiary is asking a bank guarantee. So the applicant will instruct or give instructions to his bank, issuing bank. In simple, we say another name for the issuing bank is guarantor. Guarantor. They are the people who are issuing the guarantee. So the bank, the issuing bank will ask for security. They keep security because it's a demand guarantee. When the beneficiary requests the payment, when they demand, guarantor has to pay. He can't tell the beneficiary, okay, I will pay, but I'm just waiting till applicant to give me the money. You can't say like that. You can't say like that, right? Immediately you have to pay. So based on the applicant's instructions, guarantor or the issuing bank will issue the guarantee and advise the guarantee to the beneficiary. Now this is the direct guarantee. Any questions on this? තේරෙනවද ඔක්කොටම? Crystal, it's okay with you? Hello.
Boss, when it comes to international trade, is there any intermediate bank coming between the beneficiary and guarantor?
Yes, I'm going to discuss that also. Right? Okay. Method make it clear, no?
Oh, boss.
Okay, right. Then there is direct guarantee. We'll see another type of direct guarantee. We have the applicant and the beneficiary. So based on the contract, the applicant will request his bank to issue a guarantee. So the guarantor will issue the guarantee. Right? For example, if you say applicant is in Maldives, right? Applicant is from Sri Lanka. Contract is a contractor. Applicant is from Sri Lanka. Beneficiary is putting up a hotel in Maldives, right? So applicant will go to his bank, maybe NDB Bank or Bank of Ceylon. He will go to the Bank of Ceylon, and ask them to issue a guarantee. Now, Bank of Ceylon, Colombo will issue the guarantee, but they have to advise the guarantee to the beneficiary. So what they will do, like what we are doing under the LCs, they advise they issue the guarantee and advise the guarantee to a bank in beneficiary's country, right? Maybe HSBC Maldives or Bank of Ceylon Maldives. Bank of Ceylon, they have a branch in Maldives. Bank of Ceylon Maldives, right? Like that. Then the advising bank will just advise the guarantee to, they authenticate the message and advise the guarantee to the beneficiary, right? Rather than advising directly from the guarantor, the issuing bank, from another country to the beneficiary. Here, the things are coming through the banking channels. Okay? The make a matayane, the may LCA get me a game and a venue. Very much similar to LCA. Okay. Those two are examples for direct guarantees. Now we'll see indirect guarantees. Applicant is there, beneficiary is there. Applicant is a construction company in China, right? Beneficiary, they are doing the Central Highway, Kandy, Colombo Highway, Central Highway. So the beneficiary will be, what is the authority in Sri Lanka? Highway.
RD.
Oh yeah, RDB, Road Development Authority, right? Road Development Authority. Very good, Road Development Authority. So RDA, no, RDA. RDA, Road Development Authority, will be the beneficiary. So they will request a guarantee from this Chinese guy. Now the Chinese guy will go to his bank and request them to issue a guarantee, right? Maybe, let's see, we'll say Exim Bank China, Exim Bank China. But the beneficiary RDA says, I don't want bank guarantee from Exim Bank China, right? If something happens and if I want to demand the payment, I'll have to go all the way to China and fight for these things. I want the guarantee issued by my one of the banks in Sri Lanka. One of the banks in Sri Lanka. Right? So what is happening? This Exim Bank China will give a counter guarantee. Then that will become counter guarantor. They will give a counter guarantee to a bank in Sri Lanka, maybe Bank of Ceylon or People's Bank. beneficiary is bank, right? Then they will issue the guarantee. They will issue the guarantee. So, really speaking, who is the issuer of the guarantee? Exim Bank or Bank of Sri Lanka? Exim Bank or Bank of Sri Lanka? Give me the answer. Give me the answer. මම ලොකු question එක නෙමෙයි හැවේ. කොහොම simple එකක්. හැබැයි එන්න ලොකුවට හිතන්න එපා. ලොකුවට හිතුවොත් උත්තර දෙන්න බෑ.
Bank of Ceylon.
Bank of Sri Lanka. Simple. Bank of Sri Lanka is the issuer, right? So they will issue the guarantee. They give the undertaking to the beneficiary, right? Then beneficiary is happy. But what is the security? When we are issuing guarantee, there has to be security. So what is the security? What is the security for Bank of Sri Lanka? What is the security for Bank of Sri Lanka?
Counter guarantee.
Counter guarantee. Counter guarantee issued by Exim Bank China. That's a security for Bank of Sri Lanka. මේක තමයි normally ලොකු construction companies වල අපේ government infrastructure projects. This is the same simple thing. What's happening? Right? Okay. Now let's see, under a indirect guarantee, how we are going to do the claim. The beneficiary, if there's a claim, to whom he has to present the claim? Issuing bank. Issuing bank is the bank domiciled in beneficiary's country. Bank domiciled in beneficiary's country. Right? So they will present the claim to them. Right? Guarantor or the issuer. Then, when they receive the claim, the security is from Exim Bank, China. They will claim payment against the counter guarantee. They will claim payment against the counter guarantee. Then the counter guarantor, Exim Bank, will inform the applicant and debit applicant's account and pay money, reimburse the issuing bank. Right? Then guarantor or the issuing bank will settle the claim under the guarantee. Right? This is how a claim under an indirect guarantee is happening. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Security for bank guarantees.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, what happens if there's no credit in the applicant's account? Then what will the bank do?
Right. Can I have your name? Good.
Jitma.
JITMA. JITMA, when you are issuing a LC, under LC, are you issuing the LC without having any facilities or cash cover?
No, no.
No. Same here. Make
Yes.
a bank guarantee LC high risk. Just demand, on demand we pay. Right? Always we are having security. The guarantee constitutes a major credit risk. Hence, generally the bank call for strong security. Generally, marketable securities are preferred. We don't want to take property mortgages, bank guarantee issue bank. If there's a claim, we have to pay immediately. Immediately means today itself. If you have a property mortgage, then it will take about another 1 year to dispose the land. Right? Generally, marketable securities are preferred. However, the integrity of the principal plays a major role in determining the risk involved. Also, the business reputation of the applicant, in addition to the experience and the competencies. When we are issuing guarantees, we have to be very careful as a bank. We have to check the applicant's experience, the competitiveness, competency, everything we have to check. The banks may issue guarantees in high-risk situations, provided such guarantees are covered by 100% cash security. 100% cash security. Right? You guys are doing the same thing for LCs. Right? Types of security for a bank guarantee. A third-party guarantee, counter guarantee by a third-party financial institution. That's a type of security. That's a good. But we have to check who is the bank giving the guarantee. Right? If that bank is not a reliable bank, right? Then there's no use. Cash margin. Cash build-ups. What do you mean by cash build-ups? When we are asking for security, sometimes we ask for cash build-ups. That means we suggest the customer will tell us, sorry sir, I don't have that much of money to keep as security immediately. You give me a little bit time, I will do it. Right? So we can ask them to have a cash build-up. Every week or every month from business related to our guarantee or something completely different, right? But we will request the customer to have a cash build-up, gradually to deposit money in a savings account and build up a good capital, right? Another type of securities, shares, right? Then surrender value of life policies, assignment over the underlying contracts, mortgage over immovable properties. Mortgage over immovable properties. Last we need liquid cash immediately, right? Have you got the answer to this, Jitma?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. We had this issue now. Right. Most frequently used guarantees in trade. Most frequently used guarantees in trade. One is bid bonds. We call it, another name is tender bonds, tender guarantees, happening in tendering business. Performance guarantee, advance payment guarantee, we gave stage payment guarantee, retention bonds, custom guarantees issued by Director General of Customs, other types of guarantees, overdrafts or loan guarantees, financial guarantees, and counter guarantees. Right? Those are the most frequently used guarantees in trade. We'll go one by one. There's another one which we had to say. We learned about standby letter of credit. Can you remember? About 2 weeks back, we learned. Right? Now tell me, standby letter of credit is governed by what ICC regulation? What ICC regulation? LC under UCP 600. Collection under URC 522. Likewise, standby letter of credit.
ISP 98.
Very good. Very good. ISP 98. ISP 98. Go with everything. Right? Then that day also I told you, standby letter of credit is, right, functionally, this particular instrument is functionally equals to bank guarantees. Functionally equals to bank guarantees. Right? Only the name. Only the name is different. The main reason is the use of performance guarantees or whatever bank guarantees is not in use. USA law will not recognize them. Their USA law recognize only standby letter of credit. That's the main reason. Right? Otherwise, both are credit instruments and functionally equivalent. Right, bid bonds. Bid bonds. Let us see what is bid bonds. Also known as a tender guarantee. This is happening in tendering business. The tendering business. The tendering business. Right? Tender කරලා අපි ඔක්කොම කරන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි ඉතින් ආණ්ඩුව කොලේ වහලා ගහනවා tenders. ඒක වෙනම දෙයක්. නමුත් අපි normally they call the tenders and we'll have to submit we have to give the offer. Then only they'll decide to take it or leave it. Right? It is easy to explain this with a small example. And the only thing I don't have a board to write that. In your on your own, Can you write down these details? Please take a piece of paper or your notebook, right? You will say there is a bid bond or a guarantee to import um, lentils කියන්නේ මේ පරිප්පු වලට Mysore dal, right? So yes, right there. Five people have bid for it. Then the bids open කළා තියෙනවා. First දෙනෙක් bid කළා. Right? Now එක ඇටක ලියා ගන්න A B C D E. Five ne? Right? Now the A has given his bid as in the world market. The beneficiary knows, beneficiary is CWE. They know what is the price of Mysore dal in the world market. It comes about, we'll say $100. $100 a container. Now we assume $100. One ton. $100 1 ton. Right? The first guy, A, against A, you can say their bid is subheading bid amounts, right? So against A, $98. B has given a bid for $95. Okay. C has given a bid for $85. $85. D has given a this thing $102. Their bid is $102. Then A B C D E තියෙනවා නේද? E දාන්න $101. Right. Out of that, if you are going to select the best bidder, what is your gut feeling? Which amount and which person? A, B, C, D, E. කවුද අපි select කරගන්නේ?
C.
See how much they have bid?
85.
85. Any other answers? Do you know from where we are importing Mysore dal? From which country we import Mysore dal? India?
The Pakistan?
No.
Australia, sir?
No. Australia වගේ ඔගොල්ලෝ හිතන්නේ නැත රටක්. They are the world leading manufacturers of dal. අපේ වැඩිම මේ කරන්නේ එහෙමයි. a particular area I have seen to entire when you are flying over that district, you can see down when you see down pain නිකන් මේ රෝස පාට රතු පාට රෙද්දක් එල්ල වගේ. ඉච්චරට මට පරිප්පු අරගෙන වේලෙන්න දාලා අර මේක ලොකුට බිස්නස් එක කරන්නේ. Canada, especially the area called district called Saskatchewan වල තන්නේ කරම කරන්නේ පරිප්පු. right? අපි මයිසූර් ඩා කියලා කොහෙන් ආවත් දන්නේ ඒක තමයි අපි යන්නේ මයිසූර් ඩා. right. So one girl told me 85. Any other bids? Which party you are going to select? They know the world price is about 100. එනම් අපි කාටද දෙන්නේ?
95. B.
B95. B95 වෙන්න පුළුවන්. B95 වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Or we have 98 උත් තිබ්බනේ. මට දැන් මතක නැහැ. මම ලියාගත්තේ නැහැ.
Yes, A98.
A98, B95, C
85.
85, 102 and 101. Yeah?
Yes.
Right, okay. Then 95 is a good price. Why we are not selecting 85? Why we are not selecting 85?
Because it may be of some like inferior quality.
Super. මොකක්ද දුක නම මොකද?
Crystal.
Crystal, have you been to Cargill's or Keels?
Yes.
Yes. Have you seen the dal,
Yes.
that boxes? Right. Have you been to CWV?
No.
No. One. Wow. 5 people. No. Huh? I'm happy to get Cargill's letter, CW king and Naduta. But I'm just telling you, when you go to CW, if you go to CWV, you can see in dal, you get black seeds. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You have seen that, no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you get more black seeds, it's inferior quality, right? In certain shops, you can see if the Cargill's is selling at 210, there are dal for 170 also. But on and off, you get dal, majority black seeds. ඒ වගේම තමයි 85 වලට ගියේ. So the selection at the selection process, they'll say, oh, no, we don't want that. So they go for 95. But when you are bidding, every bidder has to keep, they have to give a bid bond or a tender bond, right? Normally the bid bond or tender bond, the value will varies from 1% to 5% of the contract or project value or the bid value. So that particular they need 2% bid bond. 2% bid bond, then 95 within 2% delta bid bond there, then they know. Right? All the people have to give their bid bonds. Without bid bonds, that will not entertain. reject. Now we have awarded the tender to which party? Party B there. Party B.
A and B.
A and B. අපි ඒකත් අතහැරලා AR 98 නේ.
Okay.
අපි B එකට අපි දුන්නා. B එකට දුන්නා කියලා කිව්වා. ඊට පස්සේ then what do you call this? All the other people, now we don't want the tender, but we are not returning the bid bonds. We are just holding it. Who won the tender process? B. Now we will ask B, we will tell them, look, we have selected you to import Mysore dal for us at $95 per ton. Right? Please go ahead and import. But if you like to take up the job, you have to keep a performance bond. Performance bond. You have to keep the performance bond that you are going to perform this job. Normally, it ranges from 5 to 10 or 15% of the contract value. Now you have to get a new guarantee from your bank. Performance guarantee. Earlier it was a bid tender guarantee. Now it's a performance guarantee or performance bond. මම වචන දෙකම use කරනවා. දෙකම එකයි ආ. Then the B will go to his bank and he will get the guarantee and submit it. Okay, then it's okay. In case if he doesn't submit, then what is going to happen? Submit collect, you know, there are two things happening. If they have submitted, then if they have submitted the performance bond, then it is accepted. After that, we will return the tender bond given by the party B, as well as all the other tender bonds. They will cancel it and return it back to the respective bidders. So the respective bidders will go to their bank and get it cancelled and collect all the security money afterwards. Right? That is how it is happening. Very simple. But my other question was, if this guy, he couldn't submit the performance bond due to his bad cash flow issues or whatever, then what is going to happen? Then what is going to happen? Then the bid bond he has submitted for 2% will be confiscated. He will not get the money back. Finish. And either they will recall the bids again, or within their committee, they will decide who is the next best. According to this, who is the next best?
98.
98 is the next best. Then they will award the contract to 98A. A neither. A. Then they will ask A to submit the bid bond, performance bond. They will submit, and then that will go on. Once the party submit the performance bond only, they will return the other cancelled ones to the respective customers. Right? B එක confiscate කළා දාන්න. අනිත් එයාට දෙනවා, මෙයාට දෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Okay. The performance bond ensures payment of a sum not exceeding a stated maximum of money in case the contractor fails in the full performance of the contract. Right? Okay. Performance bonds replace the bid bonds on award of the contract. Right? Then this is a massive contract, $95 per ton. Amount is $100,000. Big contract. Now this guy doesn't have much money. B. So B will ask CWE, I need some cash advance because I have to pay, I have to open the LC, I have to pay the taxes. Those guys have to pay the taxes, no? Import duties, taxes, transport, everything, there's a cost. So for that, they will ask for some advance. Advance එක අපි ඉල්ලනවා අපි දැන් ගයක් හදද්දිත් අපි ඒ වගේ නේද බාස්ලට අපි advance එකක් දෙනවනේ. ඒ වගේම දැන් මෙයාට දුන්නා. ඉල්ලනවා. Then the CWE, the beneficiary will tell you, okay, I'm prepared to give you advance up to 40% or 50%, I can give you. But you have to submit a advance payment guarantee. You have to submit an advance payment guarantee. දැන් අරයාගේ බැංක් එකේ performance bond එකට දීපු guarantee එකක් දාම outstanding ආ. ඒකත් outstanding. ඒකත් තියාගෙන ඒ security එකත් තියාගෙන now these people wants to have another advance payment guarantee. So once they submit the advance payment guarantee to the beneficiary, they will release the money. Right? The same thing will happen in the construction field also. Any questions? Any questions? Right. Then another type of guarantee is retention bonds, or we call it warranty bonds, even at retention guarantee. Warranty bonds කියලා කියනවා. Now, normally the construction contracts, either a highway or power plants, building of power plants and all, those contracts usually provide for interim payments upon certificate from the contractor. Now, time to time, all are stage ones. Then මෙතන එහෙම stage payments දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Advance payment guarantee. These are stage payments දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Once you complete the construction up to a certain level, you will get paid a percentage. ඒක නේද වෙන්නේ ඔයගලගේ ගෙවල් හදද්දී මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ බාසුන් යාලට හරි contract එකකට දුන්නාම ගයක් හදන්න. ඉස්සලාම කියනවා ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් එක ඉවරනාම සර් මට ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් එක දාලා ඉවරනකොට මගේ ගාන 3 lakhs. Then the walls up to the roof, right? ඒක ඉවරලා එන්න එකකින් ගානක් ගන්නවා. ඒ වගේ ගන්නවා. ගිහිල්ලා the final payment, at least about 10%, you will not pay. You will hold on to the 10%. And that is a retention guarantee. Right? So that will be there. Or if the customer wants, that B guy wants the full amount, then they will say, Okay, in that case, provide us a retention guarantee or warranty bond. Provide us a warranty bond. Then I will release the full amount. About 2 years back, I don't know whether you can remember, 2 years back, Norachula power plant was constructed by whom? Chinese guys. Right? There was a breakdown. Can you remember? There was a breakdown in the power plant. Breakdown those people after 1 year they came from China and fixed it. Everything was under warranty bonds. Everything was under warranty bonds. Under warranty period right? Then ඔක මේක තව එක්සාම්පල් එකක් මම කියන්නද? මේ ළඟදී වුණා එකක්. I think this happened last year. Last year නේද මේ COVID ආවේ? Was it last year?
No, year before.
එච්චර ගියාද?
2020 January වගේනේ.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
2020 last year. මාර්ච් වල තමයි ෆස්ට් එක නාවේ. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ඒප්‍රිල් වෙනකොට අපි රටත් වහන්න වුණා නේද? ඒ කාලේ වුණානේ. මතකනේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඔන්න යනකොට can you remember there was a big haho. The Chinese company, they put up a PCR lab at Mulliraya Hospital. Mulliraya Hospital PCR lab adaala PCR machines were not working here. මතක නේද ගිය අවුරුද්දේ ලොකුවට පිළිසිකයක් ගායට PCR machines were not working, giving wrong readings like that. So the Chinese guys from there, they tried to sort it out remote, couldn't do it. So they had to come. They came and fixed it and went back. We have not paid them because we were holding the retention guarantee or the warranty bond. Right? So now you understand warranty bonds are very, very important. Very, very important to safeguard our situation. Right? මේවා හැමදෙස්සම මම උගන්ට හැමදාමත් කියන්නේ ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට වටේ බලන්න දකින දේ ඔලුවට ගන්න ඒකත් හැම තිස්සෙම ඒක ඕන වෙනවා උගන්ට එක්සෑම් එකට ඕන වෙන්නේ මේ පාඩම් කරගන්න බේසි if you have any examples, real life cases, it's much easy, right? Okay. Then another one is custom guarantees. You can read these things, but I can just explain without the note, right? When we are importing goods, right? Time to time, container after container, this guy is getting. So every time when we get a container, it's very difficult to assess it and pay, and then again another one. The customer has issued a custom guarantee to the customs department for 10 million rupees or so, right? And then they agreed, okay, up to 10 million, if we have to pay you, we will pay you. It's a guarantee, right? So they undertake the thing, and then accordingly they can go on with the business, right? Custom guarantee. By custom guarantee, හරිම අමාරුයි ඔගොල්ලෝ bank guarantees කරන කට්ටියකින් අහලා බලන්න. හරිද? We have to put a claim demand on or before the expiry date. Is it correct? Is it correct? We have to put the claim demand before the expiry of the LC guarantee. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes. But unlike other guarantees, custom department, they are like Thagari, right? They don't care. They say, no. Until we say yes, you can't cancel the guarantee. Right? Anitya apite veno. Custom guarantees na mara vaatya. Right? I remember Jarava. Because every year we'll have to extend what are the guarantees we are having. We have to keep on extending. Normally in March or April, it was October, September, October, right? Rima, other make up customs. Eglo cancel කරන්නේ නැහැ ලේසි. Right? And financial guarantees. To get the overdrafts or loan guarantees, that you understand, if a sister company wants some facilities against the parent company's bank guarantee, we'll give the bank guarantee. Right? Okay. Factors considered by the issuing bank prior to issuance of guarantee. Factors considered by the issuing bank prior to issuance of the guarantee. One is supplier performance risk. Supplier's performance risk, whether that guy is good enough. Then the applicant's credit standing. Applicant credit standing එක බලන්න වෙනවා අපිට. Security එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? Risk of unfair calling of the bond. What do you mean by risk of unfair calling of the bond? Risk of unfair calling of the bond. What is it? There are some parties, the beneficiaries, they are from small nitty-gritty things. They call under the guarantee. They demand. So we'll have to go behind people and then get the clarification, and this is a massive compulsion. So sometimes banks, we'll have to be very strict. We are not cancel, no? Right? Always if those people are giving trouble unnecessarily, then we should earmark those people and then try to avoid issuing guarantees favoring those parties. But we know this is a real nuisance, right? If the bank agrees to issue the bond, it will mark the bond value against the applicant's credit line, or request a counter indemnity from the applicant, or keep 100% cash margin. And normally the bank guarantee charges are 2 to 3%, or 5. Sometimes it goes up to 5%. Good business, very good business. Right, demands. So I'll come in 1 minute. Demands under the guarantee. When you are demanding, always a demand for payment under guarantee shall be in writing. No verbal demands. Right? In the event of a demand, the guarantor should inform the applicant or counter guarantor without any delay. Earlier, even though we had to pay on demand. The guarantor has to pay on demand, but the normal practice is immediately when we receive a demand, you will inform the applicant or the counter guarantor. But you have to inform them without delay, immediately. Immediately means if you got the demand today morning, within 1 hour, 2 hours, you have to inform them and get the things sorted. You can't delay the payment, right? Bonds and guarantees are of two basic types. One is on-demand bond, can be called at the sole discretion of the buyer without any supporting evidence. One demand is without any supporting evidence, only the demand, written demand. The other one is a conditional bond. That means we need documentary evidence. We need documentary evidence. Must accompany a claim. Now, I'll give you a classic example for this. Then you will understand conditional bond. Of course, you have to include that into the guarantee. Guarantee to that, once you, if you are claiming on a guarantee, you have to submit a documentary evidence. Normally, what is happening is no documentary evidence, on demand we have to pay. Now, when it comes to documentary evidence, take for example, construction of a building, 10-story building, right? Then, what is the document needed to see the construction? They have done it according to the regulations, and there is a document issued by the local authority to confirm that electricity, water, and everything is perfect. What they documented up again. Criminal ගෙවල් හැදලා තියෙන කට්ටිය housing loan අරගෙන දන්නවා. මොකද ඒ documented කියන්නේ අපි. ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවද COC කියලා, certificate of conformity. Certificate of conformity, COC. අපි නිකන් අපේ මේ ඉගෙන ගත්ත නැති මිනිස්සුත් කියනවා මේ if you see them at the local authority, TC ගියාම municipal council එකට ගියල්ලා මොකද මේ මේ COC ගන්නවා, right? We have to get it. So if the COC failed, then that is the documentary evidence that these people have not done the job accordingly, right? So in a scenario like that, they, as per the guarantee details, they have to submit those documents along with the claim, right? Important operational aspects of a bank guarantee, format of a bank guarantee. Important නෑ. exam එකට මම හිතන්නේ නෑ කියලා, right? Nobody will question these areas, but for your information, better go through it, right? And normally, when we issue a bank guarantee, the bank guarantees has to be issued in accordance with the bank's approved formats. Every bank, they have their approved format sanctioned by their legal department, right? They have got the approval, and we will issue the guarantees accordingly. The bid bonds venema, performance bond venema, advance payment bonds venema, custom bonds නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙනවා format එක, customs, right? Others, yes. But sometimes some demanding customers will tell you, you have to issue the guarantee according to our format. That's not the bank format. But in a scenario like that also, before issuing the guarantee against customers' format, you have to submit that guarantee format to a legal department and get their approval. Because you are not a lawyer to decide on that, right? Wordings of a guarantee, there's no standard international regulation, right? Just a normal wording, right? Okay. Important aspects in a bank guarantee: the name of the applicant, name of the beneficiary. Just go through it, right? If you are not seen a guarantee, you can get some idea what are the things we should include in a guarantee, right? Even the amendment of a guarantee after issuance also can be done like LC, but it has to come on a proper channels, right? The claim procedures, all claims should be made within the expiry date. It's understood. Any claims made after expiry should be rejected or not entertained. Right? Any questions? Very silent now. All claims should be made within the expiry date. Any claims after expiry should be rejected and not entertained. Any claims made within the expiry should be expeditiously settled. Okay? Right. If there's a valid claim, the bank should not think here and there, they have to settle it. Right? Okay. This is important. Unfortunately, I don't have the uniform rules for demand guarantees. URDG 758. Please go to Google, search for it. URDG 758 kila gahanna. Jawama uniform rules for demand guarantees. Right? If you had physical classes, I would have given you. This is a lengthy one. But you have to read it and understand, because what we have seen in the recent past, the examiners are asking questions on URDG articles, URDG articles. For me, it's not done, right? But what to do? So better download it and read at least 2-3 times so that you can get some idea about the URDG 758, right? That's a rule governing the international bank guarantee regulations, right? That's it. Any questions? Any questions? Bank guarantees, you got a exam get in. In most cases, the examiners will ask the types of guarantees, right? Types of guarantees direct, indirect, kira north and bear. Yeah, there can be direct guarantees, indirect guarantees. Normally, when they are asking types of guarantees, that is tender guarantees, performance guarantees, uh, advance payment guarantees, like that. Those things. Right? Okay. Any questions? No. Right. Yang dari lama. Enang pi yang ban ada questions tiga. Yang ban dah ulang ke. Incoterms 2020 questions. Can you see this presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Ganda ban ulang ke. Kau kema kerja na madam. Ona. I want to see how much you have scored. Right? Yang ban first kita nggak answer lagi. What the first answer lagi? What the first answer lagi? As per the Incoterm EXW, which one is not correct? Which one is not correct? So, multiple choice questions are not easy, right? It is more difficult than writing. In writing, you will write some garbage and try to grab 1 or 2 points, right? Here, if you gave the correct answer, you get the full marks. Otherwise, 0, right? A, is it correct? Under this shipping term, that is EXW, the seller provides the goods for collection by the buyer at the seller's own premises. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes. Then B,
Correct.
B, correct. C,
Correct.
correct. Then what is the correct answer?
D. All
D,
are-
all are correct. How many people got the answer correct? Avanti got the answer correctly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Good. Then, number 2. What is the correct answer?
B.
Hmm?
B.
Yes. Very good. Seller provide the goods in travel-worthy packaging. That is common to all 11 Incoterms. Good. Right. 3. Which of the following terms will the buyer not have responsibility for cargo insurance? The seller have no, sorry, which of the following terms will the buyer not have responsibility for cargo insurance?
C.
C.
B and
What the C
B
can
and
C can CIP there.
yes.
CIP. Right. Any other? Any other? Any other? Huh?
B.
Tell me the abbreviation.
DDP.
DDP. Right. Any other answers? Right? What is the correct answer? In CIP, if it is the responsibility of the seller. You are correct. But if the buyer wants to get the insurance, there's no hard and fast rule. But DDP, delivered duty paid, everything has to be done by the seller. Everything has to be done by the seller. So the correct answer is DDP. Number 4. Number 4. In which term will the seller have to deliver the goods to a carrier identified by buyer? The seller have to deliver the goods to a carrier identified by the buyer. You have more than one correct answer here. Answers දෙකක් තියෙනවා. දෙකම තෝරන්න බලන්න.
D1. D4.
Ah.
FCA.
FOB.
FOB is one. Okay.
CA.
FOB is correct. Other one?
FCA.
FCA. Very good. Other one is FCA. FCA අපි මේ container එකට පටවන්නේ it has been given to us by the buyer, importer. Importer ගේ transport agents තමයි මේ ටික ඔක්කොම කරගෙන යන්නේ. Right? So the answer is either FOB or FCA. Number 5. Number 5.
C.
See, exporter is in Hong Kong. Importer is in UK. Right? එතකොට මොකක්ද අපි කියන්නේ? CFR Hong Kong ද FOB London ද CF London. CF London වුණොත් cost insurance rate London. Right? ඒක හරිද? CF London කියලා ගත්තාම හරිද? Export is in Hong Kong, import is in UK. In the place of Incoterm, I have told you, can you remember the at a glance, I have given you chart no? ඒකෙත් තියෙනවා. ඒක මම ගෝ කටපාඩම් කරන්න බෑ. Right? So what we had to see, all the F terms, කටපාඩම් කරන්න එච්චරනේ, all the F terms and X word is origin. All the others are destination. All the others are destination. So therefore, then බලන්න CIF London කියලා තියෙනවා නම් exporter is in Hong Kong and importer is in London. If it is CIF, the place in Incoterm, tell me, is it the what do you call this? Exporter is in Hong Kong, importer is in UK. එතකොට exporter ගේ destination එකට තමයි අපි CIF කියලා කියන්නේ destination. Origin එකට එන්නේ මේ ගන්න විතරනේ මේ all the F terms විතරනේ මේක C term එක. මේ destination. Destination means CIF London means the importer should be in London. Importer should be in London. Exporter should be in Hong Kong. Right? ඒක හරි. 3 එක. Number 1 එක CFR Hong Kong. Is it correct? CFR Hong Kong, is it correct?
No.
No. CFR කියන්නේ destination. Destination Hong Kong නෙමෙයිනේ. නේද? Destination Hong Kong නෙමෙයිනේ. Hong Kong වෙනවා නම් මේක ඇවිල්ලා origin එක වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒක වැරදි. Then FOB London. All the F terms origin. All the F terms origin. එහෙනම් මේක origin වෙන්න ඕනේ. FOB London කියන එක වැරදි. FOB කොහෙද එන්න ඕනේ? Hong Kong. Origin එක එන්නේ Hong Kong. Right? So the correct answer is only 3. Only 3. Answer is C. How many people got it correctly? How many people got it correctly? Right. Number 6. Number 6. In which of the following would the seller be responsible for nominating the carrier? Boys la hari silent මට පේන්නේ කෙනෙක්වත් කරගෙන නැහැ වගේ. කරලා නැත්තම් I don't mind. I don't mind. ඔයගලන්ට තමයි පාඩු. Right. මොකද තව 1 minute විතර දෙන්න මේ තුන ඩක් ගාලා කරන්න. කරපු නැති කට්ටිය. Because I want to finish. ඉස්සෙල්ලා බලන්න හොඳද? ඒ 1 minute අරගෙන 1 minute or 2 minutes ගන්න 2 minutes අරගෙන ඔක් කියලා ගන්න. ඒක ලේසි.
A.
CFR.
CFR. Very good. Number 7. Number 7.
A.
A. No.
C.
Up to the buyer's warehouse. Seller is responsible. Under which Incoterm? No, කියලා දෙන්න ඔයගලන්ට.
DDP.
DDP. DDP. Number 8. Very good question. එක කරපු එක්කෙනා exam pass වෙනවා. බලන්න. What is the answer?
B.
Hmm?
B.
B. Who is that? What's your name?
Shanali.
Shanali. Shanali. Any other answers? Any other answers? So that means all are saying B. Answer is B. Answer is B. Make a maru question. Customer has a contract to which requires him to ship goods on FOB basis. FOB basis from Hong Kong, latest by 10th March. Latest by 10th March. If the goods have to be purchased from India so that he can on-deliver without any processing by him, which of the following terms is likely to help meet the requirement? What's the requirement? They have to ship the goods, the Hong Kong, from Hong Kong latest by 10th March. එහෙනම් අපි ඉන්දියාවලින් බඩු ගේනකොට මොකක්ද අපි යූස් කරන්න ඕන? Incoterminal. If he received from Mumbai delivery on 10th March, it is very difficult to match it. B, of course, yes, 5th March. DAT Mumbai, DAT Mumbai කියන එකත් කාටද දන්නේ? Destination. Destination එක Mumbai. මේ හොංකොං වලින් බඩු යවන්න ඉන්නේ. අපි බඩු ටික තියෙන්නේ මේ ඉන්කොටැම් එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ destination in Mumbai. අනිත් පැත්තට යන්නේ. Sorry, that's also wrong. FCA Mumbai 20th April කෙනෙමි කරයි. අපිට 10 වෙනිදා කලින් යන්න ඕන. Right? So the answer is B. 9. Who will file the insurance claim? Who will file the insurance claim? CIF. Who takes the insurance? Under CIF? Buyer or seller? Huh?
Seller.
Seller. Then who has to file the claim?
Seller.
Wrong. When you obtain the insurance, you will endorse it to the, you will consign it to the buyer. Let them buy the claim කරගන්න බෑනේ. පෙරලා තමයි documents ටික යවන්නේ. Documents දැන් ගිහිල්ලා. But during the voyage, it has been pirated. Right? Now who is having the insurance policy? It has already gone to the buyer. Then the buyer has to put the claim. Right? If the insurance policy does not provide cover for the piracy, who stands to lose? Seller or buyer? Who stands to lose? Hmm? If the insurance policy does not cover piracy, then it is the responsibility of the buyer. So buyer should know this when it comes to the voyage, a path එකේ මේක එනවා කියලා. Pirates ලා ඉන්නවා කියලා. So they have to cover it. Then okay. දහයක් ඔකන්ට කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක කොහොමද ගන්නේ? 11. Quickly up your blue. An exporter sells goods overseas on FOB and CAF Incoterms, respectively. Who is responsible for the freight charges in each? Can somebody talk and explain it rather than giving 1, 2, 3, 4? Senali, can you explain? Shall we go one by one? FOB.
FOB importer and CIF exporter.
That's correct. Is it correct? Yeah. Freight charges, ne? So cost insurance freight exporter. Perfect. FOB freight charges has to be borne by the importer. So it's correct. Second one, FOB importer, correct. CIF importer, is it correct or wrong?
Wrong.
It is wrong. Number 3, FOB exporter out. Ne? Exporter nemaine under FOB freight given importer. So it's also out. 4, again the exporter out. Then the correct answer is 1. FOB importer, CIF exporter. මේ question එක මම හදපු එකක් මේක දීලා තියෙනවා exam එකට. Right? Under FOB terms and UCP 600, a bill of lading would be required to state which of the following: shipped on board and freight paid, received for shipment and freight paid, shipped on board and freight payable at destination, received for shipment and freight payable at destination. FOB, under FOB, who will be responsible for the freight? Exporter or importer?
Importer.
Importer. Then the freight will be paid at the destination. And shipped, it has to be on board the vessel, not receive for shipment. Right? So the correct answer is
3.
number 3. Last එක ඉතින් ඉවරම කළා දාමු. A, B, C or D?
A.
A is wrong. They determine the port or place at which title to the goods passes from seller to buyer. We are not talking about the title. මතක නේද? What is Incoterm not covered? ඒවා already තියෙනවා. Then තව 3ක් තියෙනවා. කොයි එකද උත්තරේ? C එක. They determine the port or place at which the goods are to clear customs. No way. Right? ඒක අපි ගන්න නැහැ. මේක වැරදි. එකත් වැරදි. D, they determine the port of place at which the buyer is expected to make payment. We are not talking about that. B is the correct answer. They determine the port of place at which delivery of the good is determined to have been made by the seller. Delivery of the goods by the seller. Right? So the answer is B. Okay, now tell me, out of these questions, how many people have got more than 10 correct? More than 10 correct? Forget about 13. More than 10? Sorry, no. More than 9? No. More than 8? Because that's the. Generally, how much you got? How much you got? How much you got? Oh, something.
8, sir.
Huh?
8.
8. 8. Satisfactory, but not good. Sister, how much?
6.
6. The term Madi, Bhagarat Madi. Jitma?
9.
So you didn't answer, no?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, I didn't.
Right. So we have to give, we have to give a clap to you. 9. Suresh? How about you, Suresh? Hmm? Mm-hmm. Avanti? 2, 3,
7, sir.
7. Hundai. Hundai kuwata me Hundai mane. But you people have done something. Oitada, poddak, oitada. Ugla mahansi endono. Right? Mahansila studies come. Have you done case studies on UCP and URC? Have I given you the case studies? Nane de. Right. මේ සුබානේ උගන්ට ඒ case study එක දෙන්නම්. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකවත් කරමු අපි ටික ටික. Then before doing the revision, we will be covering everything. Right? Okay. Then we'll meet on Sunday. Thank you very much.